Hi, this is the second tutorial. This is something that we're going to be creating using some more text animation. So we're going to be creating this with the word animate, and we're going to take the word break and we're going to break it apart. Not as difficult as it sounds, and again, you guys did the bouncing ball and that was not as bad, I'm assuming. I didn't think it was as bad as it looks. Anyway, this is what we're going to work on today. So you're going to open Flash, you're going to do Action Script 3. Okay, so this is how we're going to start today. Okay, so in the Properties panel, there's two kinds of text, something called TLF text and classic text. This project we're going to use TLF text. So in the Properties panel, when you click on your text tool, it will give you the option on the Properties panel for TLF or classic text. We are going to do TLF text. You're going to click and drag a box, and then you're going to type the words animate in your box. Okay, you don't even have to highlight it. You can change the color of it. Whoops, sorry, maybe you do have to highlight it. I'm sorry. I apologize. You have to highlight your text. You can change the point size, smaller or larger. You can change your font to whatever font you want under character. So everything is really under the Properties panel, and it depends on what tool you have selected in order to. Trying to find some kind of fun font. Not seeing much here. Okay. Actually, I think I am going to go larger with that. Okay. So if I go on my top tool, which is the selection tool, I can move my word anywhere around the stage. Okay. Okay. So we're automatically going to convert this to a symbol. Remember, I had mentioned that. You can't create an animation without saving things as a symbol. So with my text box selected, I'm going to click my library. And you're going to notice when I do the pull down under Modify, Convert to Symbol, it's going to ask me to name my symbol. So I'm going to call it Animate. I'm going to save it as a movie clip. There are different points in time where we will save it as a graphic or a button, but at this point it will be a movie clip. Hit OK, and you're going to notice that in your library you're going to see your Animate symbol. Okay. So now it's no longer an object, it's now a piece of artwork. Okay, so I'm going to click frame 60 and insert timeline frames. So I'm going to go all the way over to 60. I'm going to pull down insert timeline frame, and it's going to fill up all these frames from 1 to 60. If you want to click around, now the word animate is amongst all of these frames. Okay, so now I'm going to click back on frame 1. So notice when I click below, all your frames are gray. Then if I click number 1, it gives number 1 frame like a blue tint. Okay. Click 1, I'm going to insert a motion tween. So 1, insert, pull down, motion tween. And now it changed my entire frames to be light blue. Okay, I just want you to take note of these things. Okay. So at frame 1, you're going to make the size of our type small. So I'm going to click below, now click frame 1. And what I'm going to do is I am going to click on my text box. Then the third tool down is free transform tool. I'm going to click on that. It's going to give me little handles. Again, like Photoshop, I am going to, if I hold it by one of the corner little edges, and I hold the shift key down, I'm just going to make it smaller, a little smaller, just at frame 1. Then at frame 30, I'm going to insert a keyframe. So when you insert something called a keyframe, you're telling Flash that something's going to happen here. So at frame 30, we're going to make the type stretch out and up, and then hold down shift and pull by corner to make the entire frame larger. Okay, so let's start frame 30. Okay, frame 30. Insert timeline keyframe. So again, it made a little dot at 30. Okay, so at frame 30, I'm going to stretch my type out and up. So I'm going to pull it from the edge. It's going to go out, and my text is going to go up. And then I'm going to hold down my shift key and pull by the corner to make the entire name larger too. So now I'm going to hold my shift key, and I'm going to also make it larger. Okay. So now at frame 50, I'm going to insert timeline keyframe. So I'm going to have something else happening at 50. Insert timeline keyframe. So at 50, I am going to rotate the image to the right. So again, you can hold the corners, pull out a little bit outside, and you'll see that it's a curved arrow. If you click and turn, it will rotate. Okay, at frame 60, insert a timeline keyframe. So I click below, goes to light blue. I click at 60, insert timeline keyframe, and again it made a little dot at 60. Make sure I have just 60 selected, and at 60 I'm going to move my image text up and to the left outside of the stage. So I'm going to go left, up, and out. Whoops. Okay, so I can always look at this smaller. I can bring my stage down. I can move over, and then I can always move it after. You just want your text to be off of that white area. Okay. Okay, so now let's view what our animation looks like right now. So I'm going to hit the play button at the bottom. We go larger, rotate, and off. Yours will look somewhat like mine. And everybody should have a little variation. Right? Not as bad as we thought. Okay. So now we're going to start. Actually, I'm gonna do a next animation, which is going to be part 2 of this. Part 2 is going to be adding another layer underneath with an additional animation, and that's going to be the word break, and it's going to break the letters, and the individual letters are going to animate. But great job today. Again, take a look at what we created. Okay, and that's that. So good job, and you can work on part 2, which is, like I mentioned, breaking apart and animating the letters B-R-E-A-K.